So it's end of May, June next week, and the UK, we are coming out of our lockdown slowly but surely. However, in the meantime, I've actually started working with clients online. Not through choice. I had an inquiry from a client, must be at least 4 or 5 weeks ago now, and she was so stressed, and she said to me, are you doing sessions? She said, I am so anxious, I am so lonely, I am so unhappy, depressed, I really, really need some help. So I thought, how can I say no? So I said, okay, we'll do a session online, we'll set it all up. I've been training online using Google Meets and felt quite confident with Google Meets, so I sent a link to my client's desk, set up the appointment, and she came online and she was all in her bedroom, all her camera and everything all set up, because I asked her all to be side on, because when I work with clients, I didn't want to just do direct and indirect suggestion and metaphors. If I'm going to do a session, I want to do it with all my techniques. I want to use all the work that I do when I see people face to face, and I thought this is a perfect opportunity. Steph knows me, she's worked with me on and off. When I looked, the last time I'd seen her was last year in July, and I thought, no, we're going to do it. She knows who I am. So we're there, we discussed what she wanted the help with. I got her to set the laptop up on the side, got her lying down comfortably in her bed with a pillow so that I could facilitate the ID motor response to get the finger responses. And honestly, it blew me away. The session went so well. And when Steph came up out of hypnosis, I just looked, I said, you look so relaxed. She said, I feel it. For the first time, I feel relaxed. And she said, but what surprised me, because Lorraine, I love coming to your office and seeing you there, you know, I love relaxing there, but actually to relax in my own home with your voice coming through, she said it was like being in your therapy room, but better. Because now when we get offline, she said I could snuggle down, I can relax. She was one of our key workers, and she said, I've got time to relax. I can actually go to work feeling more myself. Well, that was right. This went well. Let's see how I feel, because I'm a great believer, if you're going to facilitate something with a client, that you should receive it yourself. So I set up a session with my hypnotherapist, and I did exactly the same as my client. Instead of being here in my therapy room, moved my laptop into my bedroom, set it all up. I had a full session, IMR, all the techniques used. And actually Steph was 100% right. There are definitely some advantages to having sessions online than there are home to home, than coming to my therapy room. Because as soon as I clicked off from my hypnotherapist, I thought, yeah, I'm going to relax here for half an hour as well. So because I then facilitated it successfully, I've received it successfully, I thought, let's go. And since then, I have been seeing clients online. There are things that I actually prefer about it. I prefer the fact that I don't have to drive to my office back home. I love the fact that I'm here in between clients. I can run down, do my washing. So I actually do like that. The other things that I actually prefer about it is much more familiar to the clients. They're in their own homes. The things I have learned is if you do facilitate it, get yourself a headset, because actually when you've got the headset on and it goes through a microphone, it sounds more like you in the room. It doesn't, when it goes through the laptop microphone, it sounds a bit tinny. So that's the first thing I would say. Make sure when you're facilitating hypnotherapy online, the clients don't have to have a headset themselves, although some of mine prefer to, because the sound quality is so much better with microphones. So there have been some occasions when obviously technology, there's problems. Just like I work in an office, so there's sometimes the happy chappies next door start singing and making loads of noise. There are different problems when you're working online. And I've only been working online now for maybe the last 4 or 5 weeks. So the ones that I've come across is camera not working, microphone not working, where I use the IMR, the finger not twitching enough for me to be able to see, And a couple of times I've had clients not able to access the meeting. Now, how I've overcome them, quite simply, is before the sessions I've always made sure that I've got their phone number and that they have their phone so I can call them. So whatever problems I've had, I've called the client, because this technology doesn't seem to fail, and we've talked through how to get the camera working. One client, the microphone, she could not get it working, but I had the camera, I could see her, and I found that where she could hear my voice coming down my laptop microphone, and there was echoing, and there was that horrible high-pitched sound that you get sometimes. And I thought, oh. So all I did was, when we were on the phone talking, I turned my microphone off here, and we did I put my phone on loudspeaker, and we had all the conversation, and it was her first session with me. It was great because she lives about a 50-minute drive to my office. She's prepared to come all the way, but for her, she was in the comfort of her own home. She was really, really surprised. And suggestibility tests I like to do in my therapy room, an arm assurance procedure. So, but what I've changed it. I'm going to have to change it when we're back face to face, because I can't imagine I'm going to be allowed to lift people's arms anymore. So I'm doing the eye lock. You know, when you count backwards from 5 down to 1, and you lock their eyes tighter and tighter, and then they try and test it and find that their eyes perfect. And it's really good because the way I set them up, they're side on. I can see their face, I can see the finger for the IMR, and it's lovely watching them try to open their eyes, and finding the harder they try, the more their eyes just want to stay shut. So it was exactly like the first session. Now, yes, you are going to have issues like the camera's not working, phone's not working, but they're all overcome. You can overcome them all with being solution focused. And there are some great advantages working with clients from home. They're in their own space. So when we are facilitating like inner child or gestalt work and they start to cry, it's much, much nicer, because in my offices I have to have mirrors and everything else for makeup. It's much more comfortable for people to be upset in their own home. And let's be honest, have you ever cried on your own, in your own home? It's fine. Even on the phone, crying down the phone to friends. I can remember many, many years ago phoning my mum, being in absolute floods of tears. So actually having tears in their own home is even safer than when they're in the therapy room with us. So I have been working online and I've been thoroughly enjoying it. Will I continue after the lockdown? I actually think the answer is yes. I will continue with the mix. I'm not personally going to advertise it on my website, but I do think now people are aware that it is possible to work online as well as face-to-face. So if you're not working online, do it. The key to being successful online with hypnotherapy is exactly the same as when they're face-to-face. The key ingredient is be confident. If you're confident, it instills confidence in your client. And I hope you enjoy working online.